The following is a presentation of the World Baseball Classic.
Shohei Ohtani, 1 of 1.
¡Siéntate! Lo retrata sin sonrisa.
God! George has arrived. Good night now. Santa Maria.
High and deep and gone!
World Baseball Classic. You get it all.
Day 2 of pool play in the 2026 World Baseball Classic continues in Miami. Second game of today's doubleheader, Israel and Venezuela. A walk-off win for the Netherlands this afternoon has certainly set the tone for tonight. Incredible action and amazing energy through the first 3 games, and we expect nothing less tonight with 2 good teams and thousands of passionate fans. A day off today for the Dominican Republic along with Venezuela, currently sitting atop the pool standings. And a big comeback win for the Dutch today. Conversely, of course, a tough loss for Nicaragua. 1 out away from their first ever win in the World Baseball Classic. And with that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Paul Severino and Yonder Alonso. Now across the globe, everybody's getting their feet under them when it comes to the World Baseball Classic. Great crowds, great emotion, great energy. And now Israel gets to join the party.
Oh, yeah, and they've been waiting quite a few to go out there and do their thing. But look, this is a Venezuelan team that's trying to go 2-0, and this is an Israel team that wants to shock the world.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Venezuela, because we know they're a favorite to maybe win this whole thing, certainly to make a run. They have a lot of talent, certainly at the top of their roster, and those were the guys that led the charge.
Yeah, and I think coming into this tournament, there was a clear mindset, all business, and this is a lineup that's full of established big league stars. We saw in the first round against Netherlands do just that. The Ronald Acuñas of the world, the Luis Arias, the Contrerases of the world, oh yeah, and the Willy Abreu, who set the tone offensively, getting on base, driving the ball, and putting a lot of pressure on the defense in every inning. But I think for me, the big surprise has been Javier Sanoja, the young player that came in with tons of energy in the 9-hole. He's given them quality at bats, and when the stars are producing, the unexpected pieces are doing their thing. Boy, that's going to be a Venezuelan team that everybody's going to be scared of leading on to the final games of this round.
Let's take a closer look at StatCast 3D on that home run. You see the exit velocity, the hit distance. Okay, that's great, but look at where the pitch was.
I mean, that's almost 8 inches above the zone. I'm talking about a guy that's about, what, 5'9", 5'10", covering up some ground and some zoning. That's a beautiful thing to see.
On the other side of this matchup is Team Israel. We know about their history in the World Baseball Classic. Yes, they've had to fight for their seat at the table a few times. They lost a qualifier in 2012. They won the qualifier in 2016 to get them into the 2017 tournament, where they had a great run in Seoul, swept through pool play, ultimately lost in the second round. Not a great showing in 2023, but they come back with more major league talent and experience and big game experience in Harrison Bader.
Yeah, I think for me, when we look at Harrison Bader, he's known for the Gold Glove Beastmen, but don't forget about October of 2022 with the Yankees. 5 postseason home runs in 9 games. One of the more surprising power bursts we've seen from a defensive outfielder in recent playoff history. And talking to Brad Ausmus, he said, hey, we're hoping for a better offense than we had in 2023 in the World Baseball Classic, and we're hopeful that Harrison Bader is going to be right in the middle of that.
And both of these teams very well represented in the seats tonight. It's going to be a great atmosphere. It has been so far and will continue to be. Israel, Venezuela, next. This is going to be an awful lot of fun over the next 3 weeks. Can he make the play? No throw, and Israel has a 2-1 lead. Team Israel wins it 2-1 in 10 innings. Just like that, Team Israel has a 2-0 lead. Ground ball, base hit up the middle for Krieger. A 2-run homer for Ryan Lavarnway makes it 6-0. Down for a base hit. 1-0 Israel. And now it's 3-0 Israel here in the first. And Israel sweeps through Seoul. Yeah, I mean, clearly, the voice sounds familiar. I was there. It was an awful lot of fun, man. They got so much support, certainly in Seoul and with that fan base, but really, they were the Cinderella, and everybody started to root for them. But now you get into the 2026 tournament, and their first test is a tough one in Team Venezuela, a winner in their opener yesterday. This for Israel, their opener. So they've had to wait. They are essentially team number 5 in this pool. Netherlands, Nicaragua already a couple of games under their belt, so Israel's had to wait a little bit, but here they go, and they will face Emmanuel De Jesus. You see his numbers in the KBO, 29 years old, his second World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's got a good fastball. He's going to move it around, but the biggest thing for me is what he learned in the KBO. A much better curveball, much better slider. Look, we talked to Omar Lopez about it. What's it going to take? It's going to take all pitches and quick outs.
And here is a look at the lineup that he'll face. Colt Carrick, talked plenty about him over the next few days. He's leading off at shortstop. R.J. Schreck. We talked about Harrison Bader. Spencer Horwitz, a breakout year in Pittsburgh last year. Levinson, Garrett Stubbs, his brother C.J. on the squad as well. Matt Mervis, the DH. Jake Geloff, his brother Zach, not on the roster, but in the big leagues. And Noah Mendlinger is the number 9 hitter for Team Israel, led by manager Brad Ausmus. So some experience on the bench as well. Just about set. Again, a fairly lengthy wait for Team Israel. They had the off day yesterday, so game 4 of the 10 pool play games here at Lone Depot Park, and finally underway for Team Israel. First pitch swinging, and it's 0-1. Carrick, 23 years old, his first WBC, a top 100 prospect going into last year, representing the Colorado Rockies organization. That one in the dirt to even up the count. His runs, his stolen bases in Double-A last year, top 5 in both. So it will be imperative that he finds his way on base. He knows his way back home, as we see. And a ball and 2 strikes here on Carrick.
One of the things you got to respect Carrick is the speed. 46 stolen bases in Double-A. One of the fastest players at that level.
De Jesus keeps him off the bases, elevates the fastball for the strikeout.
Well, so far for De Jesus, really good command with that fastball. Got ahead with it. First strike. Now wanted to go up the ladder on that 4-seamer. Just too much right there for him.
Now R.J. Schreck, left-handed hitter, swings at the first one, pops this one up. A few steps onto the outfield grass for Gleyber Torres, the second baseman. And there are 2 away. We noted the numbers as you see the defense behind him and how great it is. A lot of gold gloves there behind De Jesus. His numbers in the KBO, but currently a member of the Tigers organization. Could be up with them in the majors, the minors, kind of on that elevator throughout the summer. He's got 3 minor league options left, so that gives the Tigers some flexibility in that regard. Harrison Bader takes a strike, 0-1. Bader, 31 years old. Those are the numbers with the Twins and Phillies last year. This his first World Baseball Classic. Was injured in 2023, so could not participate. That one upstairs.
One of the things we've noticed with De Jesus is his ability to change speeds. Fastball changeup combos so far to the first 2 hitters.
Bader now with the Giants, along with Luis Arraez, his teammate when they get back to camp in Scottsdale and embark on the regular season. But at least for the next 2.5, 3 hours, enemies. Enemies. They don't like each other. Not tonight. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The lefty De Jesus deals. Swing and a miss. Couple of strikeouts in the first inning for De Jesus. Great start for him. Don't blink or you might miss the at-bat for Ronald Acuna Jr. Since the start of 2023, he is 22 of 42. That's .524 with 5 homers on the first pitch of a game. See if he gets anything to hit from Ben Simon. Not quite, off the edge. So a checkbox for the scouting report there. Here are the numbers on Ben Simon, 23 years old, out of the Mets system. Grew up a Mets fan, Princeton, New Jersey. Now we're off by 1. He swings at the second one.
It's a very lively arm, 97 to 99 miles an hour. Just going to have to weave his way around this star-studded lineup.
Fouled away. Acuna 1 for 4, a walk and a strikeout in Venezuela's opener.
And I really like that pitch. He didn't like that cutter. It was a little baby cutter that just didn't cut enough. But he knows he has got to execute every pitch.
1-2 coming. Tried to get that outside part of the plate, but missed away. Simon's 2-2 is bounced toward third. That is ruled a foul ball.
One thing about Ben Simon too, he's not your typical 6'7", 6'6" guy that throws 97, 98 miles an hour. It's 5'10", 5'11" at best.
So that was ruled a foul ball, and it was the third base umpire that I believe blew that one foul, and it was behind the bag, so therefore it is the third base umpire's call. Certainly close. I think it confused a number of infielders. Sergei Makachechev out of France, the third base umpire. Michael Ulola out of Spain. Paul Clemens at first base. Gabe Morales, the crew chief, is behind the plate. So a mixture of U.S. based, obviously major league umpires, and international umpires as well, as is always the case in this international competition. Again, we do a 2-2, and again a foul ball.
For a guy that loves to hit the fastball, he's been tardy on it 3 times already. Ronald Acuna out of La Sabana, Venezuela, small fishing village of about 3,000 people, produce hundreds of professional baseball players.
And the next generation certainly looking up at this guy, one of the faces of baseball. Close, in off the plate, and the count runs full.
And that's a changeup right there that he throws at 89 miles an hour. I would think 98's coming right now, huh?
Slow him down, speed him up. That's usually the formula. We'll see. He did go with the fastball, but missed upstairs. So Acuna aboard in the first inning, as he was yesterday. Here is a look at the rest of the Venezuela lineup. Michael Garcia coming up next. He's the third baseman. Luis Ariz moves over to first. Salvador Perez behind the plate. Eugenio Suarez, the DH. Wilyer Abreu, Gleyber Torres, Javier Sanoja, who homered yesterday, and Ezequiel Tovar. So a different lineup for Omar Lopez and Venezuela today. Could be the matchups, could also be something that I'm sure we'll talk about as the inning and night goes on for Israel, but also their games of pool play. They're a little strapped when it comes to length out of their starters. So it could be an opener situation for them. So Omar Lopez wanting to protect against that, perhaps, or at least have that in the back of his mind. There is Omar Lopez, second go around here in the WBC for Team Venezuela. Acuna off of first.
It's one of the things we talked about with Brad Ausmus is, hey, how are you going to get through a game like today, right? Because you got to think about 3 more days of baseball. There's guys that, you know, maybe will pitch today, not pitch tomorrow. And the same goes for a guy like Omar Lopez and his lineup, right? A lot of these guys have been playing 5, 6 innings, not a full 9 yet. That's why depth is so important in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, we're geared up for tons of baseball, but you also have to think, well, it is March 7th. Right. So that these guys who are big leaguers are gearing up for, you know, certainly the WBC, but also the end of March and then the entire summer with their regular squads. Strike there to Garcia, whose regular squad is the Kansas City Royals.
I think Michael Garcia thought that pitch was up. One of the most improved players all of last year. Gold Glover.
2-2. Waved at and missed. Just kept running away from him.
A pull slider right there. Guess the swing and miss right there, but I think it all starts with the fastball at 97 at the top of the zone, getting called for strike 2 on that. Got to get a little bit more aggressive, and you got to respect the velo.
Now Luis Arise. Throw down to first, and Acuna Jr. back. Perhaps a modified pickoff and pitch out combination there for Stubbs. Because of the rules that have been implemented in Major League Baseball over the last few years that are also in the WBC and the disengagement rules and whatnot, you have to come up with different ways to control the running game. A rise toward right center field, and this one is going to get down and to the wall. Acuna Jr. coming around third base. Here's the throw. Off the mark. Gets away and a rise to third. A quick start for Team Venezuela.
This Venezuelan out of San Felipe, Venezuela, has seen a lot of these swings here at Lone Depot Park. Bader just trying to do everything he could to get in front of that ball. Once he got past, Acuna knew he was going to score easily.
Early runs again for Team Venezuela. I would really like to know who this Luis Arise is, because we've watched him during the summer, whether it's with the Twins or the Marlins or the Padres and now the Giants, and we think, well, he's a batting average guy. He slugs over 600 in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, and one of the things we've talked about is his ability to obviously hit for average, but he's always played in big parks. Lone Depot Park, San Diego, San Francisco, now Minnesota. Those are big parks. Definitely thinks he's got a lot more juice in that bat than people give him credit for. But there's one thing for certain. He's always barreling up baseballs.
Oh, so much fun to watch, and he brings the energy too. And
like Ronald Acuna, Salvi likes to swing at the first pitch as well. Super aggressive, bad ball hitter. With the infield in right now, you got to be prepared on the first pitch.
a rise off of third. Yes, the infield is in with Salvi at the dish. Swings at the first one, knowing that they stay off the plate. Gets the swing and miss. It's 0-1.
Everything's in play here, defensively and offensively. Got to be ready for that ground ball, but also got to be ready for Stubbs. Got to be able to block baseballs.
"35 years old for Salvador Perez, and this is his 4th World Baseball Classic. He's the captain for Team Venezuela. Again, going with a little movement off the plate. Back in 2013, he was 22. He's the youngest on the roster. 2026, he's still going, and he's not just here as some sort of, you know, friendly add to the rock. He's putting together numbers. We showed 30 and 100 last year in Kansas City. Lays off that one.
The thing we've seen with Ben Simon is the sequencing, right? Sliders down and away, fastballs up and in. The changeup could be in play here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Kind of living in that area, down and away and off the plate, but Perez does not bite. "20 pitches this inning already. And number 21 is lined in left and down for a base hit. Just in front of Zach Levinson, the left fielder. Arise scores. And a crooked number in the first inning for Venezuela.
against the senior veteran is still doing his part, right? Been around for a while at the World Baseball Classic, is able to slow everything down, getting into a 3-2 count. Gets that slider, a lot more plate than Simon wanted it.
Now Eugenio Suarez. Tons and tons of power here for the two-time All-Star. 49 home runs twice in his career. Had a career high in RBIs last season. Splitting time with the D-backs and the Mariners.
I think if you're Brad Ausmus right now, right, you're thinking about, okay, how do we limit this? Do we get this bullpen started already?
Yeah, can't take the 2 runs off the board. Just want to keep it at that. Double play is in order. And Suarez comes up empty.
There is some swing and miss with Eugenio Suarez, but if he connects, it could go a long ways.
1-2. Fouls it right side.
He's got one of the more quirkier batting stances in baseball. That back foot is facing first base, where you see most of the guys in their back foot facing the first base dugout. Not for him.
Hips wide open, stands straight up.
When you talk to him about it, is his ability to, he wants to show the back hip to the pitcher and then bring it in as a loading mechanism.
Two balls and 2 strikes and a ground ball foul outside of third. Yeah, he doesn't necessarily settle into the legs as, well, let's say an Albert Pujols, who's managing the Dominican Republic. Albert would squat way down. He stands straight up.
Yeah, and, you know, he came up as a shortstop with Detroit, and if you look at his batting stance, it has changed every year. He's not afraid to make adjustments, and they've worked out.
Turns away from that one. And the workload in this first inning for Ben Simon, getting close to 30 pitches. A leadoff walk and a strikeout. RBI double for Arise. RBI single for Salvador Perez. Payoff pitch is hit well out toward deep left field. Eugenio Suarez connects. With a 2-run homer and a pitching change for Israel. A big swing for Eugenio Suarez.
Well, they call him good vibes only, right? He just gave this Venezuelan country, this Venezuelan crowd here in Miami, Florida, a lot of good vibes. Hanging slider, doesn't miss it.
Again, you've seen that guy play in the big leagues for a number of years. He has been one of the real, true, preeminent home run threats. And he's cashed in again, getting close to 50 home runs a couple of times in his career. And he may put together another great season. Just signed a 1-year deal with Cincinnati.
Oh.
The ball can jump in that ballpark.
Sure can.
He knows that. And a 4 spot in the first and still just 1 out. Wilyer Abreu chops one to the right side. The shortstop cuts over and makes the play. Cole Carrick, first out for Charlie Bylinson.
Yeah, walk on out of Duke. He's one of those guys, a premier high leverage guy with his Israel team, but he's got great stuff. Obviously in high end, AA with the Seattle Mariners, was a walk-on at Duke and became one of the best pitchers in Duke history. The last WBC in 2023, he was still in high school.
So this is his first taste of the World Baseball Classic. Now facing Gleyber Torres. Gleyber's first action of this WBC, but his second World Baseball Classic in total. 29-year-old takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. One and two. And a swing and a miss, but damage done in the first inning for Team Venezuela. 4 on the board. 2 on one swing of the bat. Back here at Lone Depot Park in Miami, wrapping up day 2 of pool play. Paul Severino, Yonder Alonso, rest of our great crew with you. A 4-0 lead for Team Venezuela, and back to work De Jesus here in the second inning. After a 1-2-3 first with a couple of strikeouts, he faces Spencer Horwitz, Zach Levinson, and Garrett Stubbs, middle of the Team Israel batting order. Low and away corner for a strike. 1-1. Two-run homer for Eugenio Suarez to cap that 4-run inning. And 4 up, 4 down for De Jesus.
Well, we talked about De Jesus, the fastball changeup combo. Can touch up to 96 miles an hour. Added that curveball in the KBO as well as that slider and pitch for the Marlins in 2023. But this is a guy that's low heart rate. Doesn't matter who's hitting. All he's concerned about is hitting that mitt.
There's Zach Levinson. And while De Jesus did pitch for the Marlins, it was such a short time, he actually never pitched in this ballpark.
Right.
But he's here now, and he's got himself a 4-run cushion.
Zach Levinson of the University of Miami.
I feel like you've said that quite a bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent down here in South Florida.
Hit 275. Slugged about 484 in Double-A this year. He's got a power hitter mentality. He's got some pop.
He's 24, soon to be 25, but he is down on strikes, and that's 3 strikeouts already now for De Jesus, 2 away in the second.
And you can tell he's got a lot of life in his fastball. The way this Israeli team is taking those fastballs, it's like a surprise attack when he throws it. I know he's got a good changeup. It's a respectable changeup, probably his best pitch, but you still got to be able to sit fastball on a guy like this and score 4-0 early on.
Garrett Stubbs takes a strike on the corner. Stubbs has been part of the Phillies organization for the last number of years, but up with the club as a backup to JT Realmuto, a little time in AAA as well. But has always been known as one of those glue guys that every club needs. In his second WBC. What a start for De Jesus. 4 strikeouts through 2. Welcome back. Some of the game's greats have been of Venezuelan descent. 499 Venezuelan-born big leaguers. Johan Santana on the coaching staff here for Team Venezuela. David Concepcion, so many players wore number 13 in his honor. King Felix and the Hall of Famer Luis Aparicio. This one a roller to second base. And Javier Sonoja is retired. 1 pitch and 1 out to start the second.
A lot of great Venezuelan players.
And it feels like most of them are on the coaching staff right now.
Yeah.
It's loaded down there. Miguel Cabrera, V-Mart, teammates in Detroit. And you got to figure in a very short period of time, Miguel Cabrera will join Luis Aparicio as another Venezuelan-born Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Felix Hernandez is trending upwards. I would think Salvi Perez is a lock as well.
I think you could make a strong case for Johan Santana, the pitching coach.
That's right.
92 Venezuelan-born players appeared in the big leagues last year, including Ezequiel Tovar.
26 home runs for Ezequiel. Gold Glove caliber shortstop as well.
You know, it's built. It's like the same graphic we have for lineups. Sometimes it just looks like one. That one is through. A seeing eye single for Ezequiel Tovar. A one-out knock in the second inning. But a lot of big league experience on the coaching staff, helping younger players like Tovar to manage the moment here.
Especially first ever World Baseball Classic for Tovar. First at bat knocks, gotta feel good. Little hanging slider, stays through it just enough. This is such a quick infield here. I mean, it's a one-hopper ground ball, and it's by you.
And now back to the top of the order, Ronald Acuna Jr., who walked and scored in that 4-run first.
Ronald's going right. He's going to right center. He's staying on those sliders, and he's driving them to the bigger parts of the field.
And is that why you see the try to attack him inside?
You've got to. He likes to extend his arms. He wouldn't say he dives, but he has at times tend to dive.
That one skied out toward left field, but a lot of air underneath that one. Levinson will put that one away.
And he just missed that. Top of the zone, exactly where he wanted it. See him go back to the dugout saying he got away with it. That's a slider at the top of the zone. Doesn't really break, doesn't dive on him. Got a little frustrated there. Can't believe it. He missed.
It's what makes baseball such a frustrating game. If you're a hitter, just a fraction of an inch, and that they steal attempt. Tovar in there, and he keeps contact with the bag, so a stolen base. Runner in scoring position.
Huge lead right there. Gets a running start. Man. Parra, first base coach for this Venezuelan team, known for his Gold Glove in right field, but he can run as well back in his days.
Just 5 steals for Tovar last year. 14 caught stealing for Garrett Stubbs. But Tovar wins that mini battle and gets into scoring position now for Michael Garcia. 1 ball and 1 strike on the third baseman.
Just coming around that slider a bit for Balinson. Got to be very careful with Michael Garcia hanging one here.
Fouled off the mask of Stubbs.
This is what makes this Venezuelan team so difficult, right? With 2 outs, you got Tovar hitting 9th, stolen base, gets himself into runners in scoring position.
Which they were 4 for 10 against the Netherlands in their opener.
I mean, they've done such a great job at swinging at the right pitches, getting themselves in good counts.
Yeah, I mean, plate discipline is going to lead to a lot of damage for this club if they stay in the zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tovar at second. Balinson deals. Swing and a miss, goes to the splitter to pick up the strikeout. 4-0. A little on Israel. Population of over 10 million. Largest city, of course, Tel Aviv. Less than 1%, though, of the Middle East landmass. It's about the size of your backyard, I think, right? No, I'm kidding. 21,000 square feet. Of course, the Dead Sea, located east of Jerusalem. Lowest point on land is that shoreline.
Beautiful images.
Yes, no doubt. Israel Association of Baseball was formed in 1986 and runs 6 leagues with players from 5 to 50. And just as we noted this afternoon with a team like Nicaragua, who fell oh so short of their first win in the World Baseball Classic. Team like Israel, same thing. The purpose of this tournament, yes, to win, but secondary, maybe even primary in some cases, is to help grow the game on a global stage. The same way that Venezuela has developed, and certainly the Dominican Republic, to developing so much great major league talent, Hall of Famers and All-Stars, and contributing to the game in so many different ways. 2-2 to Matt Mervis, and a called strike 3. De Jesus has it working. That's 5 Ks.
He sure does. Against left-handers, he's going more primarily fastball slider, but to the righties is more of a fastball changeup mix. Just buckles him, freezes him. Not much you can do there for Mervis. He's just so deceptive, especially on the first base side for a lefty. Very hard to pick up.
Third baseman Jake Geloff takes a strike at the bottom of the zone. Super efficient here for De Jesus as well. 26 pitches and 5 strikeouts.
He's attacking guys.
This one skied left side of the infield. It's going to be Tovar. So 8 in a row retired to begin the night for De Jesus.
You're Omar Lopez. You're loving what you're seeing right now. They used 5 bullpen arms in their first game. They can stay away from guys. They'll have an off day tomorrow.
And just the way that the schedule has to work out, 5 teams in the pool. There's 4 straight days of doubleheaders. This is day 2. Nicaragua started their play yesterday. They'll play 4 in a row to begin and have a couple of days off. Israel has days off on either side of the tournament. They'll play 4 in the middle. Everybody else gets at least 1 day off.
Boy, he's really feeling that slider right now. He can do whatever he wants with it. Expand, go up the ladder right now with a fastball.
Just a little bit high with that fastball.
I would think that fastball at the top of the zone sets him up for that slider once again. That's what he's finished everybody with, at least all lefties.
The 1-2 to Mendlinger. Bouncing ball to the second baseman. 9 up and 9 down for De Jesus. Take a look at the schedule here. Again, action started yesterday on Friday, goes through Wednesday with doubleheaders the first 4 days, single games on Tuesday and Wednesday. But you see the off days and the way that they're sprinkled in there. A couple for the Dominican Republic, a couple for Venezuela that are spread apart. Whereas teams like we mentioned before, Israel have 4 games together. Nicaragua, 4 games together. Netherlands will get days off the last day and the day prior to their matchup against Venezuela on a single day on Tuesday. So all of that goes into the managing of bullpens, and already the 3rd arm used here for Brad Ausmus. Jordan Gieber takes over. 26 years old, representing the Mets. He's in Double-A with them. And they'll face Luis Ariz to start the inning.
Hard throwing right-hander, 93 to 95 miles an hour. This is when the at-bat starts for Luis Ariz, when he's down 0-2.
Bouncing ball right over the second base bag and retired for the first out. But he doubled as part of that 4-run first inning.
Yeah, it started off with that fastball, top of the zone. Ariz wasting no time. Harrison Bader trying to do everything he could to keep it in front of him. Boy, after that, saw Ronald Acuna, score easily. Ball got through, and you see Ariz there, man. That's what he does. A spark gets the party started.
And now Sal Perez didn't get all of that one. And Bader didn't get enough of that one. Maybe a little confusion out there with the right fielder R.J. Schreck.
Nate Bader was telling him he just took his eyes off of it. Split second right there. Took a good jump. And he just missed it.
Unless he heard the footsteps, perhaps. But either way, Harrison Bader, I'm sure, will tell you that's a play that he'll make 99 times out of 100. That brings up the home run hitter for the team Venezuela. 2-run shot for Suarez in the first inning. Salvi ends up at second after the E8. WBC debut for Gieber. Eligible to play for Team Israel. Paternal grandfather is Jewish. Suarez, fly ball. Bader twists toward the edge of the track, makes the catch. Salvi tags and will get to third base.
It's a rarity tag up right there by Salvi. But I want to take a look again at Harrison Bader's misplay ball. And I think it starts with him trying to get that ball with two hands, trying to get kind of covered. They're talking to each other, trying to say what happened there. And Bader was trying to let him know, hey, I just took my eyes off of it right at the last second. It's a rarity. Gold Glover center fielder. Just don't see that often from him.
Now Wilyer Abreu, speaking of Gold Glovers. Gold Glover with the Boston Red Sox, grounded out his first time up. Salvador Perez at third. Strike right down Broadway there at 96 miles an hour. Gieber, an undrafted free agent signed by the Mets following the draft. This one down the left field line and sneaks out of play.
Talked to Omar Lopez in the meeting. He talked about how he liked Wilyer Abreu and what he brings to the table. We asked him, hey, who's that guy that has surprised you so far early in this tournament? Without hesitation, he said Abreu. First guy at the field, first guy working. He thinks he's going to have a monster year this year with the Red Sox. Gold Glover in right field. Nobody can run on him.
Couple of hits in the opener. Big two-strike swing, got a piece of it. We'll reset.
Former barber as well. Loves to cut his teammates' hair. You know you're in a Abreu teammate when the whole team's got a fresh cut.
It looks all nice and
That's what
tight.
he does.
Yeah.
Brings his clippers everywhere he goes.
And swing and a miss, and yeah, tip it of the glove of Stubbs. 4-0 Venezuela. Welcome back. The breakdown by birthplace. Of course, so many players born in the United States, but 100 in the Dominican Republic. Venezuela high on that list as well. A lot of Cubans in Major League Baseball. But we love to see this. We love to see the international game, and that is what makes this World Baseball Classic so important. It doesn't happen overnight, as we know, Yonder, but it happens over years and generations, and starting to see it.
The beauty of it, everybody's got a great story to tell on their journey to the big leagues. All of them different.
Yeah, some guys in this tournament are going to Cooperstown.
That's right.
Other guys are going back to work on Monday.
Yeah.
You know, it's just phenomenal stories. Carrig fly ball, pretty deep center, but playable for Sanoha. On the edge of the track for the first out. 10 up and 10 down, and extremely efficient for De Jesus. 10, 10, and 11 pitches.
And this will be the second time through the order now. Be interesting to see if Salvi and De Jesus, they stay with the same repertoire. You continue to just start with that dominant fastball, finishing guys with sliders. I would like to see more of that for this Israeli team. Be more aggressive early in counts. Jesus just wants to attack, get ahead and stay ahead.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking because of the score. You want him to keep attacking, right? But do it in a smart way, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think if you're De Jesus, you want to continue to attack him. The only thing right now that can tie this game is a grand slam.
And you can't hit a grand slam if you don't have base runners. And Team Israel has not had any to this point. And R.J. Schreck, who popped up to second his first time up, is down on the count 0-2. De Jesus delivers. Foul.
One thing Salvi loves to do after a swing, he usually doesn't go back to that same pitch. Usually a different pitch, slider down and away. That's his go-to so far against the lefties for Israel. Such a big frame back there.
Well, such a big presence too, and that's why he's been the leader of this team. Obviously the Kansas City Royals, helping them to a championship a little over a decade ago.
If you're in a room and Salvi walks in, you know he's around. With his fragrance or his big smile and big character.
A booming voice of his. Such
Very
a friendly guy. It's just great to be around. 2-2 to Schreck. He went around. Another strikeout. That's 6 for De Jesus.
He's been fantastic. He's got great feel. Just feels like he's playing catch with Salvi Perez. There's that slider we've seen against lefties. Yeah, he went around.
Brings up Harrison Bader.
Now you see this Israeli team. They're being a lot more aggressive. All three batters have swung at the first pitch.
Freddie Garcia and Felix Hernandez with 7 strikeouts in the 06 and 09 WBC. And De Jesus is right on the doorstep of joining those two greats.
See Salvi kind of point to his mind right there on that pitch. It was a show me pitch. Didn't necessarily need it to be a strike. Kind of setting him up for another pitch.
Like that one. Drops the changeup in at the bottom of the zone, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Jesus looks like he's got places to be after this game.
Bader struck out to end the first inning. He'll see another. So the next one will be number 45 for De Jesus. Quick refresher on first round pitch limits for those joining us for perhaps the first time in the tournament. 65 pitches in the first round is your game limit. 80 pitches once we get to the quarters. 95 in the semis and the finals. We saw Erasmo Ramirez for Team Nicaragua today. He was brilliant. He got them through 5 innings of work and left a couple of pitches on the table. Needed 63.
He was fantastic.
Yeah. Couple of hops to short. Tovar 4 perfect innings for De Jesus. Welcome back to this special presentation of the World Baseball Classic. Paul Severino and Yonder Alonso, the rest of our great crew here at Lone Depot Park in Miami. Day 2 of pool play, but the whole tournament will run through Miami. Quarterfinals, semis, and finals will be here again as it was in 2023. Just a tremendous finish to that tournament. The showdown between Shohei and Mike Trout. Team Japan, Team USA. Always great theater, this World Baseball Classic, as Gleyber Torres takes a strike. 0-2. Torres, Sanoha, and Tovar here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
It's a party.
It certainly is. And Torres fly ball to right. 1 down.
I think if you're Israel, you want to get back in that dugout, right? Limit base runners. Get this offense some rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, they've got their hands full with De Jesus, but since that 4-run first inning, they've settled it down a little bit.
Yeah.
The volume can't kick up quick. We know that. But they've done a good job of getting things back to neutral the last couple of innings. Ground out to second, the first time for Sanoha, who homered in the opener. And 1 hop to second base.
So far, no base runners allowed for this. De Jesus out of Venezuela. Israel is looking for anything.
Just something.
Got to get on the bench. Got to get some rhythm.
Crack the door a little bit. Here's Ezequiel Tovar. This one toward left center, down for a base hit. 2-out knock for Tovar, who stole a base his first time on the base path, so keep an eye on him moving again.
What a debut, huh? 2 pitches, 2 hits. Took a fastball in his first at bat. Takes a slider into second. Stays through it, doesn't try to do too much. You know he's got good wheels, so at some point he's going to be off and running.
Between the efficiency of De Jesus, the aggressiveness of guys like Acuna and Tovar and Sal Perez, it is 8:12 local time. It feels like they have 9:30 reservations for dinner somewhere. But that's their game, and it's worked. Off the plate to Acuna Jr.
I think Omar Lopez, when he was figuring out this roster, is how balanced can this roster be? Not only with the depth on the bench, but the starters as well.
And one starter that they thought would be a starter, Jackson Churio, has not played the first 2 days as he was injured in an exhibition. He's been working out with the team, feels good, getting better. Could be available today, we'll see, but should be available as pool play rolls on. Just want to give him an extra day if they could. Of course,
Yeah, they feel good about it. He took some swings today in the batting cages. Got some x-rays, everything was good. That's kind of the next step, right? You do all your whole routine in the cages. Pretty much next step is that gameplay action.
Acuna, fly ball to right. Shrek will put it away. 4-0. Back here in Miami, a quick start for Team Venezuela, a 4-run first inning. All before the second out was recorded. They've been quieted since, but Emmanuel De Jesus has done some quieting of his own. He has not allowed a base runner to this point, and he has 6 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. Facing Spencer Horwitz, Zach Levinson, and Garrett Stubbs in this fifth. Lifted out toward right center field. Pretty good charge to that one, but caught by Sanoha. Again, 6 Ks so far.
Yeah, it's been a master class. He's used his fastball at the top of the zone. He's used his slider. He's used his changeup at times as well. And early on, we saw it happening, right? It was that fastball landing for a strike, the slider hanging for a strike, and now you look at Salvi Perez saying, I can put any finger down. He's going to locate it. That's usually what you get.
Yeah, great to see that look there of the put away pitches, the distribution of the different pitch types, but also where they were. It's not like it's only the the changeup down that's getting everybody. He's all over the place to get those strikeouts.
With any pitch and any count. That's what makes it so tough. He's been down in the zone. He's been at the top of the zone. He's been on the edges.
Ball and a strike to Levinson. And that's a look at that changeup.
Gabe Morales behind the plate. Fairly gives off at times as well.
Another strikeout. That's 7.
That sets the tie for most.
For Team Venezuela in a WBC, Freddie Garcia, King Felix, and now De Jesus with 7.
That's a nasty changeup. He's had it all night. Circle change right there. Get him get on top of it and then spin it over. Oh, that's a beautiful pitch.
He's just got everything working, and he's creeping toward that pitch limit. Next one will be number 55, but joining an elite list. And this is an important start. You see the name on the bottom of that list, Pablo Lopez, who was slated to be part of this rotation and a big part of this rotation. But another Tommy John surgery, unfortunately for Pablo Lopez, takes him out of the mix. So they've had to elevate others. And Omar Lopez certainly happy with what he's seen from De Jesus tonight.
72% of his pitches have been for a strike. Tells you where he's been.
Ground ball, and that is a fair ball down the line and toward the corner. Garrett Stubbs with the first hit, the first base runner for Team Israel, and this is going to be a stand-up triple to get their offense started.
Well, that's what they needed. A big hit, kind of breaking the ice. Gets a fastball, enter third. Rise couldn't do much with that. For a catcher who's not known for his speed, he got down the line pretty good. And he can smell it. As soon as he saw Acuna kind of not getting there on time, he said, wait a minute, I can turn it into a triple.
Yeah, it can rattle around a little bit. And that corner is just the perfect spot for triples to happen.
I think this mound visit was just letting him know, hey, this will probably be your last hitter. That bullpen is hot right now.
So he's at 56 now, 65 plus whatever it takes to finish the plate appearance for the first round. So that's what he's up against, but also you throw into the equation what they call the up downs. How many innings do you start? You get revved up, you pitch, you sit down, you go again. A lot of times at this point of the spring, guys are maybe here on March 7th at 3 or 4, generally speaking. 0-1 to Matt Mervis. Pops this one foul.
Well, he's finished a lot of the left-handers with sliders down and away. Let's see if he's got one more. Get Mervis to go fishing.
Oh, and 2. Tried the fastball and missed wide. One, two. Bouncing ball over the mound. tough play, no play, and a run on the board.
2 on Knox. Demoralizing. Oh, the score's 4-1, but big knock right there for an Israeli team that struggled mightily scoring runs in 2023. They get the first one in this tournament on a high chopper.
And with all the strikeouts, he had 7. You got to put the ball in play.
You got to put the ball in play. It's the only chance you have.
Now Jake Geloff. And again, it's the 5th inning. There's a lot of baseball left, but the first, 5 batters of this game, it looked like it was going to be a runaway.
Sure
and
was.
For as great as De Jesus has been, the tying runs in the on-deck circle right
That's
now.
right. How can you chip away and put as much pressure as you can for a Venezuelan team in a bullpen that's ready and fresh?
Oh, and 2. Swing and a miss. And he finishes with a flourish. 8 Ks. Could not ask for a better outing. Luis Arraez, the terrific gesture right there to give De Jesus the ball. 8 strikeouts, a new record for a Venezuelan pitcher in the World Baseball Classic. He said, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. He couldn't do any better.
Oh, man. Proud moment right there out of Valencia, Venezuela.
Just electric stuff tonight. And we mentioned Pablo Lopez not being here and some others that would have to step up. And boy, did De Jesus do that. 2 hits, a run. Those hits came at really the end of his outing.
No walks.
No walks.
That was the most impressive part. Usually as a hitter, you want to set the tone. Today, he was setting the tone for the hitters of Israel.
Geber still out there for Team Israel. Picks up his 2nd strikeout.
I think if you're Brad Ausmus and Israel, you want to get back on the bench. Continue to put some pressure on Venezuela. Creep that score a little bit better.
Yeah, this is where you tell yourself, hey guys, we know what the backs of the baseball cards over there in that dugout. But if you were to say, hey, we're in this game in the bottom of the 5th inning, down by 3, inside of what they call slam range,
that's right,
you'd sign up for that.
Absolutely. Because outside of that 1st inning for Venezuela, they've stalled a bit offensively.
4 scoreless, 2 hits for the bullpen for Team Israel. Arraez a big part of that 4-run 1st inning. Had the RBI double. Moved to 3rd on an errant throw and then scored a run. And I noted the gesture there by Arraez to give the ball to De Jesus. He is a smart teammate, a great teammate, because he broke up a Dylan Cease no-hitter a few years ago. And then when they were teammates and Cease completed a no-hitter,
he gave him the ball.
He gave him the ball. And he gives this one a ride out to right. The slugging Luis Arraez is at it again.
They've got so many guys, but he's the heartbeat of this Venezuelan team out of San Felipe, Venezuela. for a father that will put a hanging baseball off the ceiling and it will hit for hours. One of the proudest moments for himself and his family.
Sal Perez pops this one up right side. Arise, a three-time batting champ, known way more for the contact than the slug, but he's a home run threat in the WBC. 3 homers in 7 games.
It's just such a short swing, compact. Oh, he knew as soon as he hit it, it was gone.
Miggy knows that feeling for sure. Suarez hit the first home run for Team Venezuela tonight, back in that first inning. A 2-run shot to left field.
For this Israel team is a demoralizing. You get one back and then Luis Arias, nope. Hold on a second. I'm going to get that one back.
Four RBIs in the tournament already for Luis Arias, 2 in each game. 1-1 to Suarez. Buckles the knees a bit with the sweeper. Talking to the home plate umpire, saying thought that was a little up.
How compact and soft he is when he lands his foot in Luis Arias. There's not much loading mechanism with his hands. He loads with his hips.
Always has a smile on his face, and I'm sure, I don't know how many, but I'm sure he's got some tickets to this game. Still calls this area home here in South Florida. Was a Marlin for about a year and a half. Suarez takes up and in.
So we know, you know, he sprays the ball around, but he's always played in big parks. You know, it just seems to wonder if he would play in a smaller yard, say Cincinnati or New York, or would he hit more home runs? So I know hand-eye coordination is there. He's going to get his base hits.
Oh yeah. And again, that's
can he hit 20 home runs?
Yeah. It's almost like, you know, how Ichiro, if I wanted to, I could. Ichiro used to say that, you know. Ichiro over 3,000 hits rather in the big leagues. But that's the thing with Arise and where we're at as an industry. We always talk about exit velocity and launch angle and home run distance and all these metrics. It's just not his game, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Abreu fouls that one away. So this was 2023. There's a home run to right field. And then another home run to right field. Certainly not a cheapie. Had the place rocking.
What a game that was. Oh. A tale of 2 different movies. See Arias, the 2-homer game. Look at those numbers.
That one kicks away from Stubbs, and an extra 90 feet for Suarez. By the way, Arise, last note on him, at least for this time around. I'm sure we'll talk plenty more about it. 6 homers in the regular season at Lone Depot Park, with a larger sample size than his WBC career, which he has 3.
Huh.
The ratios continue to look good for Arise. Scoreboard looks good for Venezuela, up 5-1. Now towards shallow left. And an Arise home run gets the run right back. 5-1 as we play on here in Miami. Defending champs Samurai Japan continuing to roll. It was a tight game this time around, but still able to lean on that home run. Shohei Ohtani doing what Shohei Ohtani does. Another home run. He's got 2 in the tournament already.
Never seems to amaze.
See the scores at the top of your screen. A delay in San Juan where Panama has a lead. Great Britain a 1-0 lead over Team USA. Tarek Skubal gave up a leadoff home run. And more action out in Tokyo coming up in just a little bit. Bouncing ball towards second base. 1 away. Elsewhere, here is Skubal. And there it goes. That's a quick answer. Right out of the gates for Great Britain.
How about that?
Carrig out toward right center. Sanoha makes the catch, and a couple of quick outs for Ricardo Sanchez.
Brad Ausmus was saying what Cinderella stories mean that you win.
Right.
Ricardo Sanchez, whole kitchen sink at you. 4-seamer, slider, sinker, curveball. With Magallanes, he was fantastic. 5-1 with a 3 ERA. Pitched the game-winning final series, going 5 innings on 4 hits.
This is his first WBC, piggybacking on what Emmanuel De Jesus did. Brilliant through 5 innings. 8 strikeouts, no walks, the 1 run. But those 8 strikeouts, the most by a Venezuelan in the WBC.
This is where Omar Lopez has, a guy in De Jesus and a guy in Sanchez with the same repertoire. They throw the same pitches, same velocity. If it ain't broke, why fix it?
1-2 to Shrek. Just a little bit wide.
Yeah, he got it right.
Hit the target. It's just that the target was set up away. 2-2. And now this one in the air out toward deep right field. And Shrek into the second deck. 5-2.
Well, Blue Jays top 10 prospect with excellent on-base percentage. AAA really did his thing last year, and boy, he delivers in a big way. Slider down and in. You just can't throw it there for a lefty. All of a sudden now they get that run back.
Just stay in the game, stay within an arm's reach here. Closing it to 5-2 as Harrison Bader fouls it away. You can see him communicating what the pitches look like to his other teammates.
I always got very chatty when I hit home runs, yeah.
Well, I mean, you know it all at that point, don't you?
Yeah.
You got the answers to the test.
Absolutely.
Nobody takes your advice when you come back after 3 swings and misses, huh?
No. That rarely happens.
3-1 here to Bader. And he looks at the strike. A strikeout and a ground out today for Harrison Bader. Pops this one down the left field line. Looks like there will be room for Michael Garcia. But a run back as Shrek goes deep. We got a ball game in Miami. Brad Ausmus Ausmus goes back to the bullpen. Fourth pitcher of the night for Team Israel. Daniel Fetterman takes over, 27 years old. Second WBC appearance. Faced Puerto Rico in the 2023 tournament. Scoreless inning. Faces Gleyber Torres to lead things off. Bottom third of the order for Venezuela. Torres, then Sanoja and Tovar.
Daniel Fetterman, another University of Miami graduate.
Ding.
Former Oriole. Strike thrower. Doesn't walk too many people. 143 strikeouts and 33 walks.
You'll take that ratio.
Yeah, he comes right after you.
Ball and a strike to Torres.
From Miami Hurricane. Scoreless appearance here at Lone Depot Park. He did miss all of 2024 and 2025. Elbow injury.
So getting back on the big stage here and really trying to keep momentum on Israel's side. It's 5-2, yes, but it was a 4 spot in the first inning for Team Venezuela. Scored 4 runs before the second out was reported.
That's right.
So they got out of the gates quick. But things for the most part have settled down. A little more back and forth later on here. But for Team Israel, they've got 3 more at bats to try to make up that deficit.
Yeah.
So they need zeros on the board on the pitching side.
They need zeros on the board. They need to be more aggressive on the base paths when they have them. Brad Ausmus is just looking for anything to get this offense going.
2-2. He's outside.
I've always asked Fetterman why he wears number 99. He wore it at Miami as well. Never really gave me an answer.
Just cuz.
Just he liked it. It's what they gave him. It's what he wanted.
And he's from Pembroke Pines, Florida, which is a half hour or so up the road. This one fouled away. And speaking of this entire area, the Miami metro area, home to the 6th largest Jewish population of any metro area in the world. The 3rd largest Israeli population in the U.S. New York, L.A. number 1 and 2. So a lot of support down here in South Florida. And I believe I think they got a timeout just before the clock ran out, if I'm not mistaken. And a quick refresher there, it's 3-2, so any pitch clock violation, if it were on the pitcher side, is ball 4, and that's certainly not what you want. So smart of Stubbs to stop the clock and essentially use a mound visit there as a defense mechanism. Three balls, 2 strikes. Not enough curve on that curveball. And a walk to Torres to begin the inning.
Walks with no outs are really going to hurt you. Got to be very careful here.
Talked about Javier Sanoja in our open with a home run yesterday. We know about the Hall of Fame resumes up and down the roster. Runner goes. Throw from Stubbs. Great job. Great job there by the second baseman, Mendlinger, to keep that ball from getting into center field. Stolen base was pretty much going to happen, but to keep him from getting to third is huge.
Yeah, and I think for the Venezuelan side, the hit and run was definitely on. With a guy like Sanoja right there, he's got to swing. He's got to be able to swing. That's a surprise element right there. Usually you do the hit and runs on the first pitch of an at-bat.
This is a ground ball to the shortstop. They had the corners up, thinking perhaps a bunt just in case, but instead the ground ball, and they get the out anyway and keep Torres at second base. So there's 1 down for Tovar.
A lot of quality things happened there. And I love the pitch calling by Stubbs behind the plate, going with a slider, get him out in front, because Sanoja, all he wanted to do was hit a ground ball to second, hit a ground ball to the right side, get Gleyber to go to third. with no outs. That wasn't the case.
Tovar aggressive his last time up. First pitch single. He's got 2 hits in this one. But takes one up and out of the zone. Ball 1.
Growing up in Maracay, Tovar and family didn't really have equipment or baseball, so they would use socks as baseballs in the backyard to play. Anything you can use to play the game out in Venezuela.
Hey, you love those stories. Think of a guy like Mariano Rivera, became the greatest closer ever, using a milk carton as a glove.
Making his World Baseball Classic debut. 2 for 2 day. He is a lot of fun to watch with the Rockies.
2-1 coming.
I asked him, did you ever, did your mom get upset at you, or your dad? He said, no, you know, we try to switch around the socks.
Takes outside, ball 4. Well, just like the big leagues, the ball touches the dirt, you throw it out. You got to get it right. Here's the day so far for Tovar.
He's been fantastic. Took a slider in the first at bat for a 1-hopper that got through. Then takes a fastball for the first pitch he sees in a second at bat and laces it to left center. We've seen him steal some bags. We've seen him get that walk. We've seen him play really good defense.
Well, in one breath, not the worst thing in the world for the walk, because with 1 out, you set up the double play as first base was open. In another breath, you've got Ronald Acuna Jr. coming to the dish.
Big problems right now.
A walk and a run scored in the first. A couple of flyouts for Acuna Jr. No stranger to the big moment. Changeup misses low.
That's a good pitch right there. Down in the zone. Hasn't been landing his slider. Stubbs behind the plate. A rarity. Changeup.
Flips the corner with that changeup.
He's got a good one.
You have to imagine Stubbs sat in on a lot of meetings on how do we attack Acuna Jr. playing with the Phillies and Acuna with the Braves. A lot of matchups with those 2 teams.
Do you go again with another changeup?
That one gets to the backstop, and both runners will move up.
And I think if you're Ronald Acuna right now, you got to be precise on the zone. It's got to be at the top of the zone. Seen Fetterman here lose it a little bit. This at bat could change the game right here.
Already a couple of walks. He's got 3 balls on Acuna Jr. Not the ratio you're looking for. Infield in, and a hitter's count for Acuna. Ball 4, they are loaded. Rob Kaminsky in the Israel bullpen. And pitching coach going to go out and chat. So with the lefty Kaminsky just thinking ahead, you think that might be for an arise at bat?
Yeah, I would think so. I think you just want to slow down Fetterman a little bit. This is a good mound visit right now. The changeup has been in play. He's thrown it to righties. I think he's a little quick with his slider, getting around it a bit too fast.
And I would imagine some of the first few words were, you're 1 pitch away from getting out of this.
He really is. The problem is you got wheels all over. So turning a double play could be difficult. It's got to be a 1-hopper
5 strikeouts and 5 walks for Israel pitchers in this one. Walks to Torres and Tovar and Acuna. Those are the 3 base runners. Of those 5 strikeouts, 3, however, have been Michael Garcia. 0 for 3 to this point. Corners even with the bag, with the bases loaded and 1 out. Ball 1 just missing.
Start him off with that changeup. It's been pretty much the only pitch he could locate.
Tried the breaking ball that time and missed again. Rise waiting on deck. He's homered tonight. No regular season big league grand slams for Garcia, but here he delivers into right field. Brings home 1. Here comes a second. Michael Garcia comes through.
One of the few fastballs in the zone by Fetterman. Michael Garcia, one of the most improved players last season, the Gold Glover, delivers for Venezuela.
Pitching change for Team Israel. Big hit here for Michael Garcia. More breathing room for Team Venezuela.
Just a fastball at the top of the zone. Stay short with it. All you needed to do was make contact, not try to do too much with it. And this is why this Venezuelan team is so dangerous. They put the ball in play, they've got wheels, and they're clutch. A gene you just can't teach.
And it's interesting, we looked at the lineup card today compared to yesterday. There were so many changes, nearly an opposite from yesterday's, and here they are still putting 7 runs on the board, capitalizing on some walks this inning, no doubt. Runner goes, throw to second is cut off. Go down as a stolen base for Michael Garcia, but certainly concerned with the runner Acuna Jr. at third base there.
Yeah, it takes away the double play threat now, and this infield has to come in. And you've got a guy who loves to make contact.
He loves to hit home runs too, doesn't he? Deep right, and he did it again. Luis Arraez. Season. He's Babe Ruth in the WBC.
Left on left. You bring him in to get him out. What a moment. A one-hand finish. Unbelievable. What a player.
Maybe more so on the launch angle because it was only 95 off the bat, but just magical stuff. And he's going to give a curtain call here too. Lots of support, his former home ballpark for a period of time, and opens it up to a 10-2 Venezuela lead.
So much fun to watch. His ability to just hit any pitch in any count.
fly ball. Edge of the track for the out.
I mean, you take a look at his swing when he makes contact. The two-seamer in, but it's a one-hand finish. Slips off the bottom hand. Talk about getting extension and connection. It's unbelievable. He's a magician. La regadera is what they call him, the sprinkler.
He makes it look so easy, like he's got one hand tied behind his back. Perhaps some splash hits in San Francisco this summer. We'll see.
Yeah. And this lineup just doesn't let up, right?
No. Here's 49 homers in the box right now. 0-2 to Suarez in the dirt.
Just like we saw with the Dominican team last night. It took one guy to kind of break the ice, and then this offense went to work. This Venezuelan team has been pretty much everybody. But this guy has been the key to it all.
Slugging .917 in the World Baseball Classic.
And coming into these games, he was hitting third. You have so many options. We asked Omar Lopez that. He says, no, he's our perfect third hole hitter.
Doesn't that make sense? Arise is hitting like Suarez. Suarez is hitting like Arise. Drops in the base hit.
Oh, baseball's beautiful. That happens. You see it all here at the World Baseball Classic. Look at this. Suarez off the end of the bat right there, not trying to do too much. Already took a slider for a home run. Gets another breaking ball. Good hitters. Don't make you pay. They just grind out at bats.
And thanks to the walks, they actually have more runs than hits right now. 10 runs, 9 hits. Wilyer Abreu facing Rob Kaminsky, the 31-year-old, in his second WBC. Greeted rather rudely by Luis Arise. Tovar able to flip the lineup card over a few times. Couple of home runs for Luis Arise. Middle of the order doing damage for Team Venezuela, trying to go 2-0 in pool play. Stubbs with the throw to second, no slide, and Suarez is out. And they may think about a challenge. They will not. Luis Arise at it again. Venezuela in front. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of World Baseball Classic Incorporated and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Nailed it.
4 for 4 there.
4 for 4 so far.
Had a swing and miss here and there, but that nailed it. This is a broken bat roller toward third. Garcia makes the play to Luis Arise for the first out.
You're nailing it like Arise is nailing it right now.
Oh no, nobody's on his planet right now. It's amazing, right? He's got one career multi-homer game, and it was here in this building in the big leagues. He's the only player in World Baseball Classic history with multiple multi-homer games, and they've come in this ballpark.
That's right. There we go.
Just a different player in this tournament, and Venezuela will take it.
Said he started hitting as soon as he got home from the season to get ready for the World Baseball Classic. Usually a lot of the hitters take about a month off, 2 months off. A lot of them start hitting it around December. Not for Arraez.
Lined over him and into right field. A base hit for Levinson. Big turn, but he'll stay put with a 1-out single. And we could discuss Arraez and his routine. He's big on routine. He starts, you said start swinging right after the season. He starts swinging like when he gets up in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what he does. I mean, he's got such a routine base where he wants to hit every single day. He does all different drills. He loves to hit. He loves to talk about hitting.
And it just goes to his preparation. And you talk about whether it's him and the batting titles, or a guy like Miguel Cabrera, who's his hitting coach in this situation. Any of the greats. As this one is popped up just behind second base. Torres keeping an eye on the base runner.
I remember last year I was in New York and I went to go see the Padres playing. On the way back, I was on the team bus and sitting next to Luis Arraez. The game was over. He had gone 3 for 4 that day, and we were already on the phone looking at the starting pitcher for the next day. And I said, man, just relax and take it in. He goes, I never relax. No. We talk about hitting. The day is over. I got to think about tomorrow. But that's who he is. The preparation starts the night before, where most guys are waking up in the morning, and once they get to the field at noon, that's when they start going over their game and the matchup they're going to have. Not for Arraez. Arraez was doing it the night before already.
But whatever a player's routine is, it's so important. It's a grind of the season. You rely on it so much.
It's everything.
You hear so often players who maybe they grind a little bit, or they're just young and they haven't figured it out yet. But it's like once it clicks and we as fans see it, like, oh, this guy turned the corner, they always revert back to, I figured out my routine.
Yeah, you look at some of the greats. Tom Brady talks about that all the time. Is what gets you back is, well, the basics and then the routine. Some of the great hitters, some of the great players. You talk about Shohei Ohtani, and a lot of his teammates say his routine is impeccable. You give me a good baseball player, the first question is, how's your routine?
Yeah.
And there's not that much adjusting with it throughout the year. It's very subtle stuff.
0-2 on Matt Mervis. Don't hold the runner with the 8-run lead, and that one fouled away.
Very energetic.
He's on a short list of one of the nicest guys in the game. There's no question about that. Although Team Israel not too fond of him today, I can pretty much guarantee that. He steps on the bag to end it. It's been all about Luis Arraez giving back to the fans right now too. Well, something to keep in mind early on in the tournament, the early termination rule. A game ends if one team is up by 15 or more after 5 innings. That number goes down to 10 or more after 7 innings. And we mention that because it is right now an 8-run lead. So if Team Venezuela puts a couple of runs on the board, this being the 7th, it would be a walk-off scenario for Omar Lopez. Bouncing ball toward first, but foul. Wilyer Abreu down to the count 0-2. Abreu was at the plate when Suarez was caught stealing to end the 6th inning, so a fresh count, which has turned into an 0-2 count now for Abreu. Kaminsky delivers and misses inside. It's a lot of hits right there.
Oh, man. You know, it's funny, you talk to Miguel Cabrera about hitting, and he always talked how he wanted to feel small at the plate. He wanted to feel like his swing was like how Jose Altuve's swing is, or some of the greats, very short, very tight to the baseball. Oh, look at that.
Line to left in a diving play, and he picked it. It's an out. Great play by Levinson in left.
Well, if that ball gets by, Abreu would have been running forever. Look at the read he gets. He breaks on it right away. Ball's tailing away from him. Great angle, great play.
And you know what? The level of difficulty on that play is boosted a little bit. I mean, we've both seen a number of games in this ballpark. Those mid-height line drives to left field can get lost in ribbon boards and lights.
Yep.
See it a lot in here in this ballpark. But Levinson stuck with it, makes a great play. Torres fouls it off.
A 10-2 ball game. You're still playing hard.
Torres strikes out. And right now, Team Israel, that play out in left field, if it goes the other way and it gets down base hit, now the tie could potentially be a 2-run home run. We're looking at the potential of a game being over. So Levinson, in essence, trying to extend this game, and does so by making that play. But now with 2 outs, here is Sanoja. For 3 ground outs for the center fielder. But now a hit right back up the middle. Hits in both games of this tournament in his home ballpark once the regular season comes around.
Be interesting to see how much running they're going to do with a score 10-2.
Yeah, from a regular season game, 7th inning, the unwritten rules, you're not.
Right.
You're right.
Tovar's had a day.
And it looked like Kaminsky was worried about Sanoja at first base, not engaged with the hitter. So that's why the home plate umpire went out and reminded him, you got to make eye contact with the hitter.
One thing I've noticed from Tovar, his ability to control the strike zone, man. It just really looks like he's calm. He's behind the baseball. Everything's slowing down for him.
Strike inside part of the plate, 1-1.
And when he picks that foot, that front foot, and when he's landing it, it feels like he's got an egg underneath that foot. It's very soft, very controlled.
To third, and it kicks away from Geloff down the line. Look out. Sanoja got a little tangled up with the footwork there. Does a dance to get to third. Maybe not sure if he was going to slide or not.
I don't think he wanted to get hit by the ball. He needed to slide.
3 hits and on base 4 times for Tovar.
Fantastic.
Whoop, whoop. Close.
Very,
very close. And now again we remind you of those early termination rules. If Ronald Acuna Jr. gets a base hit and scores 2, that's a 10-run spread in the bottom of the 7th inning. That would end it for Venezuela. And we're talking about it before. Will they run or won't they? They didn't. But the point of that all is not about disrespect and blowing a team out.
No.
It's about saving pitching and not having to cover a couple more innings. And a great start for De Jesus. The first 5 innings and 8 strikeouts. Sanchez, the other pitcher tonight, the day off coming for them as well, pitching in a good spot in the dirt, and a block by Stubbs. 1-0.
You look at this Venezuelan team, they know how important those 2 runs are on the bases right now.
Toward third, fair ball. Throw to first to get the out. So we will go to the 8th after all. 10-2. Well, looking at the pitching and the potential starters or options for Team Venezuela, De Jesus and Sanchez combining to cover the first 7 innings here tonight. Saw Suarez in the opener. Sensatella, Rodriguez would be other options as we move along in this tournament. De Jesus with just a stellar outing. Geloff pops this one up. A rise into foul territory, drifting back toward fair, but makes the catch either way. What a day for Luis Arraez.
That first pitch right there, heart of the plate. For a guy like Luis Arraez, he's not going to miss it. Well, how about the second one? Bottom handle comes off. How did I do that? Yep. Both rewarded for home runs.
Yeah, and you saw the exit velos there, not to be confused with anything off the bat of Aaron Judge or Stanton or Ohtani or anything like that. Under 100.
Doesn't matter how far they go as long as they go over the fence. Still counts the same as home run.
Under 100 probably wouldn't get you a speeding ticket down here in South Florida sometimes. Ball and 1 strike. Angel Serpa out there for Team Venezuela.
The ground ball machine. Those numbers right there with the Royals, they don't stand out, but he's got one of the better percentages in ground ball. 4-seamer, 2-seamer, 95 to 96 miles an hour. He does have a slider as well, but he comes right after you.
Salvi tried to pull that one back into the zone, but a little too low. To Mendlinger. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The number 9 hitter was grounded to second base 2 times tonight. Pops this one up. Foul ground for Garcia with room. Back to the top of the order for Team Israel. Cole Carrick 0 for 3, a strikeout and 2 fly balls to center. First WBC for Serpa. Royals sent him to the Brewers in December with a new club in 2026.
A lot of the same for the Israeli team, right? This offense from 2023, it's been hard scoring runs.
One ball, 1 strike, and a ground ball to Garcia. Long throw, close play. Bottom 8 coming up. Pool play rolls on. Another doubleheader tomorrow. Netherlands and the Dominican Republic at noon. Nicaragua, Israel in the nightcap. Monday, the last of the 4 straight doubleheaders. Dominican Republic, Israel at noon. Venezuela, Nicaragua at night. Single games on Tuesday and Wednesday. And if things continue to track in this direction, with Venezuela potentially going 2-0, Dominican right now a day off, but they're 1-0. That's a huge showdown to wrap up pool play on Wednesday. Dominican Republic and Venezuela. Michael Garcia pops this one up. And Horwitz puts that one away. Zach Laban on to pitch, 29 years old. WBC debut.
Big power arm for this right-hander. Pitched in the Puerto Rican Winter League, where his manager was actually Omar Lopez. Well, they know each other quite well.
Well, here is Luis Arraez. Yep, there's another one. This one is into right field, thinking about 2, on his way, safe. 4 extra base hits for Luis Arraez.
fastball. Been poolside all day. And 4 barrels, head first slide, and yeah, he's having fun.
Never had a 4 extra base hit game in the major leagues, but this is just a different version of the great hitter. And again, a quick reminder on the early termination rules. With a 8-run lead, if Sal Perez does what he's done so often, 2-run homer could end this thing. Salvi RBI single in the first, reached on an error in the third. Overall, a 1-for-4 night.
Just trying to do a little too much right there, right? 2-0, guessing fastball. One of the guys that's been very vocal is Miguel Cabrera in that dugout. He top stepped, talking to all the hitters. Good guy to listen to.
I would say so. If he's talking hitting, you're taking notes. Salvi, base hit. They'll hold a rise at third. Runners on the corners and 1 out for Eugenio Suarez. So now more traffic on the bases, and another reminder of how Venezuela could end this a little early. Should they score 2 more, it would be an early termination walk-off. We had a walk-off home run this afternoon. Ozzy Albies with the Netherlands down to their final out, a 3-run homer.
First pitch swinging.
Yeah. To shock and stun Nicaragua, who was looking for their first win in their WBC history. High pop. Horwitz in foul ground will make the catch.
Well, he got the pitch, he got the fastball. He just missed it. Yeah, you see Eugenio Suarez kind of disgusted with himself there. Had a good pitch to hit.
And maybe frustrated now, but that was a big swing for him back in the first inning. A 2-run home run to cap a 4-run frame.
Hanging slider.
Now Wilyer Abreu may have broken his bat. That one kicks away. Another run comes home. Salvi on his way to third. Carrick tried to range over to get to it, but now 11-2.
All the little things there, huh? Off the end of the bat, broken bat. A fastball down, good pitch. You're doing all the little things, gets away from him, and now you got Salvi 90 feet away from ending this game.
That brings up Gleyber Torres. With runners on the corners, Garrett Stubbs will inform the infielders what they plan to do. Waves and misses at the changeup.
Seeing Gleyber Torres a little jumpy. That's why he's been going after those sliders down and away. His changeups down and away.
Bouncer foul.
He's a free swinger. Always has been.
A 3-time All-Star, including last summer. Great first half with Detroit. Dealt with some injuries in the second half. And his second WBC.
That's a much better take right there. Didn't go with the leg kick right there. Just kind of put his foot down. And I like when that's back. The two-strike approach is back. A lot of these great hitters, they simplify it a lot more with two strikes.
Flips that one foul. Still the ball and 2 strikes on Torres. And again, if they score, it's over. If we get to the 9th inning, it would be 2, 3, and 4 for Brad Ausmus. One, two. Do it again. Big offensive night for Omar Lopez and Team Venezuela. 11 runs, 14 hits, and a 4-run first and a 5-run 6th, and a huge night for Luis Arraez. A couple of home runs, a couple of doubles to go along with it too. In the air, that's Bader underneath it. To the 9th inning we go. 11-2. Welcome back. Here in Miami, we've been treated to some great defense, but it's all over the globe. In Houston, Trace Thompson going up to take a home run away from the World Series hero, Will Smith.
Wow. I wish more fences were that low so they could steal more home runs.
Yeah, you don't say that as a hitter, though, do you? Team USA has taken the lead in that game, though. 3-1 the score, and there were extra innings in San Juan. Panama and Puerto Rico tied up at 2. Chinese Taipei and Korea getting set to go in about 20 minutes time. As Anthony Molina takes over for Team Venezuela, his WBC debut. Late add to the roster.
Good arm. 96 miles an hour on that 4-seamer. He's got a changeup. He uses it to the lefties. A curveball slider with the Atlanta Braves right now. The Rockies last year.
Facing R.J. Schreck, who homered in the 6th inning. That was against Sanchez, but we were talking earlier about how do we look at this game, right? It's 11-2. Israel's had a tough time getting something going. You look at teams like Venezuela, Dominican Republic, high-powered offenses. We know that. Ground ball to Arraez at first base. But for Team Israel, we knew that they were looking for more offense this go-around in the WBC. Was this game more their offense not being as high-powered as others, or was it more De Jesus just having himself a great night?
I thought it was more De Jesus. I mean, 5 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 1 earned, 0 walks, getting ahead of hitters, a lot of soft contact early on. I felt like Israel was very passive the first couple of innings, the first time through the order. And I think Salvi Perez really handled himself behind the dish like we've always seen for a long time. And he sensed it. He sensed a passive offense, and he just attacked. So I don't necessarily think this offense is what we're seeing right now. I just think it's a mix of Salvi Perez and De Jesus and the way they work together.
Harrison Bader, fly ball, center field. Sanoja ranging back toward the wall, and that one clears the fence. Harrison Bader just enough to get it out for a solo home run.
That's got to feel good, right? Get a run like that in the 9th inning, kind of that message for the next game. Give fastball here, 4-seamer. Oh, crushed. And we highlighted him at the show. They needed a big swing from a guy like Bader. Just a little too late.
And while Venezuela looks to go 2-0 and creep to the top of the pool standings after day 2. DR plays tomorrow afternoon. They're 1-0. You start to think about those other teams, right? Nicaragua, Netherlands, Israel. If this score holds, you start to think about who's going to finish last and then be relegated and have to qualify again.
That's
so
right.
That's where the mood will shift. But a base hit there for Horwitz. One out base runner. And one more note on De Jesus. Again, it was such a great night. In fact, the best in terms of strikeouts when it comes to the WBC and Venezuelan-born pitchers. His 8 more than anybody else. Freddie Garcia, Felix Hernandez had 7. There's a ground ball base hit. The hit's starting to come in bunches here for Team Israel.
Zach Levinson with a 2-hit game now. But I think it's the right message, ending on the right note. This top of the 9th right here, getting guys on, hitting a big home run, kind of sets you up for that next game.
Garrett Stubbs, who tripled. That was the first of just 2 hits that De Jesus allowed. With 2 outs in the 5th inning, gave up back-to-back hits. Led to the only run he gave up. Lifted foul.
This Venezuelan team will have an off day tomorrow, so their pitching will reset.
So critical in these short series in this pool play format, where there are the pitch restrictions, and some of them are just rules of the tournament. Others are the rules and restrictions placed on by parent clubs in some cases as well. So, you know, hey, this guy can't throw more than 25 pitches in an outing, even though the rules might say 65. We know, well, 30 is about his limit.
And I think that hurts more the lower tier teams, right? A team like Israel, they're going to play. They're not going to have an off day anymore. So you really need to kind of maneuver your pitching staff, especially in that bullpen. Now you look at a team like Venezuela or a team like Dominican, where they have 14 pitchers, 12 of them are elite. They're closers in their respective teams. You can afford to throw somebody else out there. You've got the lead in a game on a lower tier team, and you want to win that game, and he might not be available for that game.
Stubbs strikes out. A K for Molina, and now Matt Mervis, the last hope to keep things alive for Team Israel. He had the RBI single in the 5th off of De Jesus. The Shrek home run in the 6th, the Bader home run here in the 9th inning. That's been the offense for Team Israel. This is going to be Torres on the outfield grass. And Luis Arise, pretty much a one-man band. What a night. What a WBC. What a hitter. 11-3 Venezuela.
The story continues for Arias here at the World Baseball Classic. For a guy who's called La Regadera, sprays the ball around, he's now a slugger as well with a multi-homer game. But how about the Jesus and the job he did today with 8 strikeouts, 5 innings pitched, 63 pitches, 43 of them were strikes, 2 hits only. He was fantastic. As much as we want to talk about this offense, we knew this offense was going to be ready. We really didn't know how the Jesus was going to be. And boy, he answered the bell.
Yeah. 2 games, so 4 starting pitchers. Erasmo Ramirez this afternoon was brilliant through 5 innings. 63 pitches, he was great. Nightcap De Jesus, same deal. So yes, we had a lot of offense tonight, 11 runs and 14 hits. We talked about a rise in his routine. My guess, whatever he did today, he'll do before the next game as well.
I guarantee it.
Venezuela now 2-0. Pool D, It continues through Wednesday, March 11th here in Miami. We'll be back tomorrow with 2 more great games starting at noon Eastern. Kingdom of the Netherlands coming off a walk-off win earlier today, taking on the Dominican Republic. For Yonder Alonso, the rest of our great crew, Paul Severino saying goodbye for now from South Florida. Thanks for watching the 2026 World Baseball Classic.
Of the world on a World Baseball Classic championship on the line.
The undefeated samurai of Team Japan against the defending champs Team USA.
The 2 biggest stars in the world are going to lead their teams on the field.
The stakes, immense. A championship showdown for international pride and a matchup fans dreamed about for years were all about to unfold.
So here we go.
In the top of the second, the red-hot Trey Turner came up with 1 out, and the tournament's home run king was back at it.
2-1 pitch. Turner hits another one down the left field line. He's done it again. It's gone.
His solo shot continued his incredible power surge and gave the Americans the early 1-0 lead. It also was his 5th homer of the 2023 Classic, tying the single tournament record. Turner's outstanding performance throughout the tournament would secure his spot as the all-tournament team shortstop. But Japan immediately fired back in the bottom half with Japan's Mr. Clutch Munetaka Murakami up to bat. Goodbye. Murakami's 432-foot blast off Merrill Kelly tied the game at 1.
And the USA manager is going to make the pitching change. It's only the 2nd inning, but it feels like a massive moment in this game. Bases are loaded for Team Japan.
A Lars Nootbaar ground out brought in another, and after 2, Team Japan was in the lead 2-1. They were not done there. In the bottom of the 4th, the incomparable Kazuma Akamoto got a pitch in the zone from Kyle Freeland and did not miss. Akamoto's solo shot put Japan up 3-1.
Boy, oh boy, he did not miss it.
The game quickly became an intense pitching duel.
He struck him out. Swung on it, missed. He got it with that nasty splitter. Struck him out with the breaking ball. Fastball frozen.
The later these innings go, the more these hitters start to press a little bit.
That was until the 8th, after Japan turned to Yu Darvish for some bullpen relief, and the powerful and intense Kyle Schwarber came up to bat for Team USA.
Kyle Schwarber hasn't had his best swing going, but all it takes is one with this guy.
And on the 10th pitch of the at-bat, Darvish served up a hanging splitter, and Schwarber hit launch.
Schwarber drives into deep right field. It is gone into the second deck.
Turning the crowd and Team USA's bench into sheer pandemonium.
The more hope for Team USA.
The intensity of this final was off the charts. The crowd was on its feet just waiting for what may happen next. And then the moment arrived in the ninth.
Japan is 3 outs away from a 3rd World Baseball Classic championship.
Japan's manager, Hideki Kuriyama, made the decision that the world had been waiting for. Shohei Ohtani to close out the World Baseball Classic. Standing in front of him and the title, some of the toughest hitters in all of baseball. After walking leadoff hitter Jeff McNeil, the tying run was on base. But Japan's defense focused in.
Mookie on the ground to second. We'll see if they can turn 2. That's 1. That's 2. It's a double play. And Japan is 1 out away.
And then the script wrote itself. The only man who stood between Shohei Ohtani and the WBC trophy was Team USA captain and 3-time AL MVP, Mike Trout.
First time they've ever faced each other. They've been teammates for 5 years. The best against the best.
The baseball world stopped and watched these two icons lock in. First pitch, out of the zone. Second pitch,
at 100 miles an hour.
Pitch 3 of the sequence, just off the plate. Pitch 4.
Pure challenge.
My best stuff against your best swing.
Ohtani wheels and delivers a 102-mile-per-hour fastball in the dirt. Trout dug in, the eyes of the baseball world riveted by the suspense.
Ohtani 3-2 to Mike Trout. Here's the pitch. Trout strikes out swinging.
The greatest show on earth ended in the most cinematic of ways. This was more than just a victory. It was a game that transcended borders.
What an ending to an all-time tournament.
And a world champion led by their indomitable hero.
The 2023 World Baseball Classic Most Valuable Player.
The greatness of Shohei Ohtani on the big stage. That image will be everywhere and around the country of Japan.
What a pleasure it's been.